Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Germanic Languages live show. This is the show in which we are talking about the Germanic languages, and hopefully we are going to improvise some language challenges today in this episode. This is, if you're new to this channel, this is a subdivision of the Ecolinguists channel where we do language experiments and language challenges dedicated to different language families. But I decided to split the different language families into different channels just to keep those streams focused on one language family at a time. Hopefully it's going to work out and we're going to be able to improvise language challenges with more Germanic languages this time. Last Ecolinguist stream was kind of dominated by the Germanic languages, which was great. So hopefully you guys got the memo and you know that I decided to stream on those other channels once a month, let's say. I think that's something I can do. I think that I'm going to be streaming every week. I'm going to be streaming on different channel. So starting from this week, we're starting with the Germanic languages. Next week, I think we are going to do the Romance languages on the Romance languages hub, which is a different channel. Then we're going to cover the Slavic languages on the Slavic languages hub, and then go back to the Ecolinguist channel, and we are going to stream there. And then we're going to repeat the cycle and see what's going to come out of this. So my original idea for the channel was to improvise language challenges to connect with you in a more direct way, but also look for people to collaborate and make more regular videos for the Ecolinguist channel, where we do the mutual intelligibility challenges. There is always a need for new volunteers, new people to make videos and new videos featuring new languages, but also redoing the old videos with the same language combinations, but maybe with people who have different linguistic backgrounds. So this is the way where you can contact me, and we can potentially talk later about making more videos, more regular videos for the Ecolinguist channel. So that's the idea, but we will see where this channel is going to go. It's the Germanic Languages hub. We want to talk about Germanic languages here. I am not an expert in Germanic languages, just to let you know. But if you are an expert and you want to share your knowledge with us, you want to share interesting facts about any of the Germanic languages, or maybe about Germanic language family in general, you're welcome to either call in live, as we are going to do live calls in this show as well, or you can contact me and we can think about what is the best way to present this information to the people who are interested and who gathered here tonight to learn something about the Germanic languages. So let me just quickly have a look at the chat, what's going on there. So it's nice to see you guys. Basically, this stream is going to be very chilled. It's just hanging out. Whoever is going to call, we're just going to try to improvise language challenges or learn something about their languages. But it's all up to you, really. Like you are active participants of the show. You help to create the show. So if you want to call into the show, call me. There is a registration form which is different to the Ecolinguist one. So the Ecolinguist show has its own form, and Germanic Languages Hub has its own form. So you have to use a different link. The link is in the description. You have to fill in this registration form, and this way you're going to get an email with instructions on how to connect with me during the show. And what's very important is that before joining, you do want to share not only your name in the join window, you also want to type your native language, so I know what to expect. If you speak more than one language, that's fine. You're going to share that with me when we connect, but it's just for me to know what kind of what is your native language, so I will be able to tell more or less what kind of challenge I can do with you. And a good idea for all of you who are considering to call today is to think about what kind of challenge you want to participate in, what kind of what can you bring into the show. You can be either a participant, and you can just try to guess what other people have prepared for you, but we do need a lot of input from you guys. So if you want to lead a challenge and you maybe need some ideas of words that you could use in the mutual intelligibility challenge, I recommend to check out this random word generator, randomwordgenerator.com. And here you can pick the game Pictionary, because it's kind of very similar to what we are trying to do here. We're just doing it in multiple different languages. And it's just going to give you some ideas of words that you could use for the challenge. Pictionary, you could use different levels, maybe medium or hard, and just keep generating words until you think that you have the one that you'd like to use in the challenge. So there is that. It's very useful to know that. And now, yeah. But other than that, we can also do, depending on who is going to call, we can also improvise non-native speakers challenges. So if you, for example, are learning German and there is a German speaker on the stream, you can call in and we can maybe improvise some exercises or activities that would help you practice your German, for example. So there is an idea. That's an idea. And by the way, if you are looking for language partners, or you just want to continue talking about languages with people that you met on the Ecolinguist show, or in any video featured on the Ecolinguist channel, you are welcome to join our Discord server. It's a platform where you can talk freely with people in voice chats or text chats. We have a growing community there, and that's how you can make friends and keep talking about languages. Let's see. So Claudio, you're saying that you can't join. Just make sure that you're using the Germanic Languages Hub's link, because if you're using the Ecolinguist link, it's not gonna work on this show. This show requires you to register with a different registration form, because it's a different channel, so I try to keep things separate and keep it more organized. Okay, I see. Moritz, you're also having troubles with connecting. Interesting. Guten Abend, Tom. I see one person is calling in right now, so I'm going to add Jan. I think I know Jan from the Ecolinguist show, and we'll see if he had any troubles connecting. Okay, so let's see. Jan, okay, Jan, so you're going to join me now live, so get ready. 1, 2, 3. Hello. Hi, Jan. Welcome back to the show. It's a different channel, but the show's idea is very similar. So just a quick introduction on your side. Where are you calling from, and what languages do you speak?
Yeah, I'm calling from Germany, and I speak German, of course, and English, and Italian, more or less good. And I actually began to learn a little bit of Russian.
A little bit of Russian. Okay, so you kind of covered all language family, not all, but at least 3 different language families, right? Germanic,
Yeah, more or less.
Romance, and Slavic. Good. So people in the comment section, they're telling me that they are struggling with connecting with me. Did you have any troubles? How did you connect?
I connect normally with the link in the description. I didn't have any issues or problems. I don't know.
Uh-huh. Okay. So what kind of device are you using? Are you using a laptop or a tablet?
Yeah, I'm using my laptop, so I hope that the connection is a little bit better than last week. Yeah,
Yeah.
my camera must be a little bit better. I
Yeah.
hope.
Yeah, it looks good. Everything looks good. So I think we will be able to work with it. We just need to make sure that other people can also call in. So, guys who are watching, let me know if you still have any troubles connecting with the software. Yes. So, Jan, you've been studying languages from different language families. What can you tell us about your experience with that? Uh, is there any difference in approach that you take depending on the language family that you're covering at the moment?
Yeah, it is interesting that yeah, Italian is a lot of Latin basics. So yeah, the great point is that I learned Latin for about 7 years in school. So Italian got really quick and easy for me to learn. Uh, the Slavic languages are quite difficult because of the grammatical structure and all the different forms. Um, and yeah, the words are quite different, so you can't reach them with knowledge of Germanic languages or Romance languages. Yeah, it's quite a completely different structure in there. So, but Latin also helps there because of the lot of cases, which are also in Latin. In German, we have four, in Latin, five, and in Russian, for example, six. So, yeah, it got more difficult and difficult, but yeah.
Yeah. So, what's your general approach in language learning? Do you have any method and any favorite methods that you're using?
At the beginning, I tried to learn as much vocabulary as possible. So yeah, I think you need to have a basic for yeah, for getting better and better with the time. Yeah, I think without vocabulary, you can't talk to others. You can't write. You also can't understand anything like films or books with subtitles that are yeah, but it is quite difficult to remember all the words you're learning, especially in Russian, because they are so different from German or anything else I know about languages. Yeah,
I
but I think
see.
with the time you get better and better.
So your approach is to start with learning lots of words,
Yeah,
as many words as possible, and
yeah,
then maybe investigate the connections between words, the grammar, and stuff like that, based
yeah,
on the input, basically. So that's how people tend to learn languages these days, through exposure, through comprehensible input. Yeah, yeah, that's interesting. Um, but what about Latin? Because you mentioned you were learning Latin in high school, right?
yeah. Latin this time was really great that I learned this for basic to have the possibility to learn other languages. Yeah, of course the Romance languages are nearby to Latin, but the problems that come with this are that you didn't have the listening comprehension in Latin
Mm-hmm.
or
Mm-hmm.
the speaking the speaking methods you need to have for speaking Italian or Russian, Polish, anything else. So yeah, it was it was a difficulty for me to understand speaking language, especially in Italian, because they speak very fast and the pronunciation is nearby to German, but the velocity is a lot different. So yeah,
I see, I see. But it was more of a language course because you took it in school, so the approach was a bit
yeah.
different. But people in the comments they asking about Duolingo. I mean, do you have any thoughts about Duolingo?
Yeah, I like Duolingo a lot. I tried any languages there, so I actually tried time ago to learn Zulu, the language of South Africa.
Yeah. Uh huh.
But yeah, Duolingo is very great, and yeah, some problems are that you might learn sentences you don't need in real conversations. So my first Italian sentence I got from Duolingo was the sentence "I am an apple,"
Mm-hmm.
which you
Mm-hmm.
don't need in daily conversation. So yeah, but that are the words that you remember anytime later. So since I learned that, I never would forget the word for apple in Italian or this sentence structure. So
So maybe it's a good idea for complete beginners, people who just starting out and they just need something to start with, right?
yeah, of course. Especially when you learn a language with a different alphabet, it could be great because you learn yeah, from day one the new alphabet, for example Arabic or Russian or something like that. Yeah, for this it's really great to have Duolingo with you.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, I see. Uh, I Kellam says that the German course is not that good. Too many repetitions. What is it worth to know 50 different phrases perfectly? So not super happy with Duolingo. Yeah. Yeah. So people have different experiences with Duolingo. Um, mm,
Yeah, on YouTube, I found a video from a German speaker, and he tried the German course of Duolingo. So yeah, it could be interesting if you try the course of your mother tongue and look how good the courses really are, and
yeah.
then you can yeah, and then you can tell others if it's good or not. But yeah,
Yeah,
here you.
I tried to learn Czech once, like a year or 2 years ago, and it was just so tiring because those languages, like Polish and Czech, are so similar, and it took me like 10 minutes of repetition to go through the basics, like hello, good morning, which is like super easy for me, and the Duolingo just kept showing that to me, like, and I was like, I know that already. Can we move on to something more difficult? So there is a trap like that you can spend too much time. You can waste time basically if you, especially if you're learning a language that is very similar to yours, because the algorithm they have they just run uh, regardless of what your linguistic background is. They just assume that everybody starts from the same level. So I
Yeah.
think that that could be a problem.
Yeah, I had this experience with trying to learn a little bit of Norwegian because the sentence structure is like Germany, and the grammatic is like Germany,
Hmm.
it's like German. So yeah, in these languages, it's only to learn the new vocabulary, which is quite similar to German if it's not spoken too fast. But yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So I think that Lothario says that it was great to start learning Welsh there on the Duolingo. Duolingo. So I think what's good about Duolingo is that it covers variety of different languages. So if the language is not too close to yours, I think maybe using their approach that is just exposing you for a long time to words might work for you, I suppose. But actually, by the way, Welsh, speaking of Welsh, I just recorded a video on Monday featuring Irish and Welsh. So that's going to be a new video coming up soon. Yeah, and we were testing mutual intelligibility between Irish and Welsh. So that's coming up pretty soon.
yeah. The only thing I know about this languages is that there are quite a lot of different forms. So I think in Scotland you also speak Gaelic or yeah, Welsh. Yeah, Welsh is in Wales, of course, but Scots.
Scots.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, you can use Duolingo to learn those because there is just not many resources that you can find online.
And languages for fantasy fans of course, for example, Klingonian or something like that. I wouldn't guess that you find a lot material in the internet except Duolingo. So yeah.
Yeah, so Duolingo is good about that. I suppose it's really helped to promote lots of different languages. And actually, speaking of constructed languages, I think that this week or maybe the beginning of next week, the video featuring Interlingua is going to come up. It's going to be published on the Ecolinguist channel. So I just finished captioning it today. So the interlingua, it's very interesting, the interlingua language, which is the language created to be comprehensible to speakers of other Romance languages. So yeah, that's going to happen within the next few days on the Ecolinguist channel. I'm not sure about a language for the Germanic language family. Is there a constructed language that kind of is designed to be understood by all the speakers of all Germanic languages? Not sure.
I
No.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm not an expert for constructed languages, so maybe anyone in the chat have an idea. But
Volkssprach. Oh, okay. Moritz is actually suggesting something. So actually, Moritz is calling us in. So actually, I see that uh, the line was unblocked because people managed to call in. So let's add Moritz. Moritz, you're going to join us in a second, whenever you're ready. Um,
there is a lot
yes.
of Frisian in the comments.
Uh, Frisian, yes. We're going to talk about North Frisian in a second. But Jan, I think I hear some noises on your side. So maybe, if you, whenever you don't speak, if you could just mute yourself, that would be helping with the sound quality of the recording. But, when you want to speak, you just unmute yourself and that's going to be fine. Okay, so Moritz, whenever you're ready, because I see you now, so whenever you are ready, I can add you. Um, let's see. This is. Moritz, if you're ready, we can join now. Hello, Moritz. Can you hear us?
You are still muted?
I think Moritz, you're not muted now. So, but I don't think we can hear you though. Okay. Okay, so I will let you figure it out. You can call us back. So I see there is. Alejandro is calling, so maybe let's add Alejandro instead and see what Alejandro has to say. So Alejandro, you're going to join me in a second. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Hey, good. How are you, Alejandro?
Very good. It's the first time I see a live stream.
Oh, that's great. Alejandro, where are you calling from and what languages do you speak?
I'm from Argentina and I speak English, German, Italian, and I'm learning Polish right now.
And you're learning Polish. Okay. That's great. How advanced is your Polish?
A1 or something like that.
Okay.
I'm just at the beginning.
What about your German? Because today
Like
the show is
C1 or
dedicated
something
to
like
the
that.
Germanic languages. C1. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's
And
a
B2 of English if I'm not making a mistake.
okay, that's good. So I think that what we could do maybe I mean have you thought about what kind of challenge would you like to participate today?
It was very nice. I normally see those challenge and I think those are pretty interesting.
So I think that while we are waiting for Moritz to connect, we can maybe just add Jan into the conversation because Jan is a German speaker. So hello, Jan.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi
Welcome.
back.
Yes. So Alejandro, you've been studying German for how long?
5 years. I studied German 2 years at the university for being translator.
As a translator, okay.
Yeah.
So you've been studying it for a while. So I thought that a challenge that we could have here is that Jan, you would think of a word. You would think of a word in German. Okay, you can use the random words generator, for example, to think of a word. And Alejandro, you would be asking yes or no questions in German to Jan, and Jan will be answering to you yes or no. You can ask questions like, "Oh, is this an object? Is this used for this? Is this of this color?" or and stuff like that. And this way, you can try to identify what word Jan is thinking about.
Okay.
Do you know?
Okay.
Do you know that game? This game sometimes it's called like 20 questions and or yes or no questions. Are you familiar with that
Yeah.
game?
Yeah. I think it's the same thing you do normally in live streams, right? So yeah.
Something like that. Something like so. Alejandro, we could do that. Just maybe to improve a little bit of your framing. If you could maybe push away your camera or something, or
Uh,
sit further away
Wait a moment.
because your head is cut off.
Yeah.
So yeah. Oh, if you're using
Give
a
me a
phone,
second.
yeah.
Give me a second. And let me see. Oh, give me a second. I have a problem with my screen. I
Okay.
don't
So
know what's happening.
meanwhile, Jan can think of a word. So Jan, whenever you're ready, um, you can let me know.
Yeah, I think I have a word. So
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. Just give me a second because I can't see my screen. I don't know what's happening. Okay.
So yes, you just need to, oh, maybe you didn't see the stream, that's why you couldn't frame
Maybe.
the camera.
A ver.
Okay, that
That's a little bit better.
um I'm not so you are actually using your camera as a webcam, right?
Yeah, I have a little webcam. It's a little normal webcam of Genius. It's not the very great thing. So the cable moves everything. Give me a second.
Yeah, so we try
Yeah, I
to
have problems with the cable. So it's better?
maybe slightly better, yes. So we can try to let's see how it's going to look like in this setup. Okay, that looks good. Guys, so you can still hear me. So I think we can do the challenge like this. Alejandro, you just need to ask yes or no questions to identify the word that Jan is thinking about in German, all in German. Okay, so whenever you're ready, Jan, you can start. Alejandro?
Ja. Also denkst du an ein Tier?
Nein, kein Tier.
Warte mal. Es ist ein Objekt oder ein Lebewesen.
Ja
Nein,
oder nein
Entschuldigung.
fragen.
Ja, ja, genau, Entschuldigung. Es ist ein Lebewesen?
Ja,
Man kann das als Haustier sozusagen haben.
nein,
Äh, Es ist eine Person, die ein Teil der Familie ist.
nein,
Was könnte sein? Es ist groß.
nochmal?
Ist es groß? Also
Nee, nicht
groß.
groß. Eher klein.
Ja, klein, okay. Man kann das benutzen, um irgendwas zu trinken.
Ja, auch.
Okay. Benutzt du das jeden Tag?
Nein,
Nein. Kann man das benutzen, um etwas zu kochen?
ja.
Okay. Also ich glaube, ich weiß, was das ist, aber ich kenne nicht das Wort. äh, Gib mir eine Sekunde und ich sage dir, was ich denke. Also ich habe die Sache, aber nicht das Wort im Kopf. Es ist ein Kochtopf.
Nein. Ein Kochtopf ist kein Lebewesen.
Ja, Entschuldigung. Ja, ich dachte mehr und ich habe das komplett vergessen. Kochen, Lebewesen. Was könnte sein? Kannst du das kochen?
Man kann das kochen, ja.
Kommt das auf das Meer? Aus dem Meer?
Nein.
Also, man kann das kochen. Es rein. Es ist ein Kaninchen.
Nein.
Hm. Es ist bunt.
Bunt. Meinst du bunt?
Ja, bunt, also mehrere Farben meine ich.
Nein.
Hm, was könnte sein? Ist es ein Rad? Also man kann das kochen, obwohl man in Deutschland das nicht macht.
Nochmal ein was?
Oder ein Maus? Es ist
Nein,
eine
keine
Maus.
Maus. Nein.
Hm, nein, eigentlich habe ich keine Ahnung, was ich noch nicht fragen könnte. Was könnte sein? Man
Vielleicht kann
kann.
ich noch vielleicht kann ich noch einen Tipp geben. Es gibt ja verschiedene Arten von Lebewesen. Ein Lebewesen ist ja nur ein Objekt, was lebt. Das muss ja nicht unbedingt ein Tier sein.
Ah ja, da hast du recht. Also, du meinst eine Pflanze
Ja.
und du kannst das benutzen, um zu kochen. Äh, ist das ein. Das ist eine Gemüse?
Nein.
Könnte das Tomate sein?
Nein, keine Tomate.
Hm. Also, man benutzt das, um zu würzen.
Nein.
Also, das ist keine Tomate. Also man das nicht um zu würzen. Das ist kein Gemüse. Apfel?
Nein.
Hm. Nein, ich weiß nicht eigentlich. Was noch könnte ich dich fragen? Äh, Hat das Saft? Hat das
Äh,
Saft?
nein.
So kein Saft und das ist kein Gemüse. Das einzige Ding, an den ich denken kann, ist das Oregano.
Nein.
Naja, ich weiß eigentlich nicht, was es sein könnte.
Also ein Tipp, den ich noch geben kann, ist, dass es eher eine süße Frucht ist, also kein Gemüse im Sinne von Gurke oder Aubergine oder so, sondern eher süß.
Süß. Karotte.
Nein,
Was noch? Die einzige süße Dinge, die ich so kenne, sind Karotten und Kürbis.
nein, auch kein Kürbis.
Also, was ist süß? Das ist keine Tomate. Ein Apfel. Kann man damit kochen? Banane?
Nein,
Naja, ich weiß eigentlich nicht, was das ist. Erdbeeren?
nochmal?
Wir sagen Erdbeeren. Wir
Ja,
sagen
sehr gut. Eine Erdbeere.
Yes, so you got this, Alejandro. Congratulations. But uh,
Dankeschön.
yes. So Alejandro, what was that at the end? It was like a kind of berry, right?
Strawberry.
Strawberry. Okay,
Yeah.
strawberry. Yes.
Yeah, it was
So
pretty hard for me because I didn't think in that normally.
yeah, it's a fun little game for people who are learning foreign languages. You know, like yes or no questions. It's basically like a reverse version of the regular challenges that we do, basically, because it's
Yeah.
also about word guessing, but in a different way a little bit. So that's great. So that's kind of challenges that we can have here. But I think that Moritz has finally managed to connect. So you guys, you can wait if you want to participate in some more challenges. You can just wait in the green room for now, and I'm going to talk to
Okay.
Moritz for a little bit. So let me just sort this. Okay, Moritz, so you're going to appear now on the screen. Hopefully it's gonna work. Hello, hello.
Hi, can you hear
Hi.
me?
Yes, I can hear you. Let me just reset the settings here. Yes, so welcome back to the show, Moritz. How have you been?
Quite good, I would say. I had some technical issues today and in the last days. As you might see from my background, I'm currently moving, so quite a chaos. And I mostly have built back my audio setup, so I had to find my microphone cable um, to talk to you. So I'm sorry for yeah. This is
That's great. So for people who don't know you yet, maybe they missed the video on the Ecolinguist channel where you were hosting the video featuring North Frisian. Just tell us where you calling from and what languages do you speak.
Yes, I'm Moritz. I'm calling from Germany, and I speak a couple of languages. My native language is German, but I have learned French and Frisian from when I was small. Both I began with respectively 3 and 5 years old. Yeah, I speak English. I currently studying Danish and Scandinavian studies also and linguistics. So I am also speaking Danish, a bit of Norwegian, Swedish. I have failed my Icelandic 2 exams, so a bit of Icelandic, but yeah, I have a basic understanding of Icelandic and Finnish also. Yeah.
And Finnish. Finnish is a different language family, so that's an extra challenge. So are you doing it professionally? Are you like studying it at university to become a professional linguist?
Yes,
Then
yes. I'm currently writing on my bachelor's thesis in linguistics, in empirical linguistics, and I do a two subject bachelor in Germany. That's possible. So I am studying empirical linguistic on the one side and Scandinavian studies on the other side, which is language and culture and all those things. Yeah.
wow. So most of the languages that you've mentioned, you study at university level, or you doing it on the side?
All the Scandinavian languages I learned at university, although I had um, some exposure to Danish when I lived near the Danish border in North Frisia. Yeah, but all the Scandinavian languages basically, and French and Frisian, I learned from when I was small. Yeah.
I see. And you in the chat, you actually mentioned this project of a constructed language for the Germanic language family, right? So I'm not quite sure what this project is all about. Is it something similar to the Interlingua project and the Interslavic project, or is it something completely different?
I think it has a quite smaller community behind it. And I also think it's not as maybe as focused as the Interlingua project. I'm not involved with that. I only heard it through other media. And I think it's split up into different dialects and people who had different visions how the language should be. But I've seen some samples, and for me, as someone who speaks a couple of Germanic languages, I think it's pretty understandable. Yeah, but you can find some information about the language, and I'm not really an expert about it.
Okay, so it's called Volkssprach, right? So it's like the speech of the people, something like
Yes.
that. That's interesting. And so, as a linguist, like, what are your general feelings about constructed languages?
I'm very positive about them. I'm currently giving a seminar at my university about constructed languages, so it's a topic that I'm very involved in. Um, and yes, I have made conlangs or constructed languages since I was 12, I think. It's the
Okay.
way I came into linguistics. Yeah, I really interested in the topic, and I think there are of course different things you want to accomplish with a constructed language. For example, if you want just to make an an artificial language like Tolkien or something like that, just for as a form of artistic expression, or if you want to make an international language like Esperanto or Interlingua. I think Interslavic is also constructed. I'm not sure if there's a rule
It's
in.
constructed, yes. It's kind of they're using algorithms though, so it's not like someone is just sitting there and inventing words. They use algorithms to pick the words that are most likely to be comprehensible to the biggest number of people. Kind of so that's how they go about it. Yeah, but the Interslavic project is more about focusing on comprehension. So they just want to create a language that is there to communicate with people that speak different Slavic languages. So I believe that there was a project that used that language in a hotel where there was lots of the tourists who were staying in the hotel. They were coming from different Slavic countries, and the signs in the hotel that they were directed you to the swimming pool or the restaurant or something, or the instruction manuals were written in the Interslavic, so people could just read it and know what's
And that
going on.
Okay, and there's nothing like I know of some projects also with Germanic languages, and there's also sometimes like that people don't really like a language that is basically in the uncanny valley of their own, so they just prefer to have then multiple languages on the signs or something instead of something that is basically a mishmash of languages. There was no like the feedback was positive, or do you know about that?
I suppose that there were mixed feelings about it. I mean, generally, if people encounter something like that, it's a new thing, so people probably are very interested and like it. And even the fact that the video that I made on my channel featuring the Interslavic was very popular, people were in love with it. You know, they loved the idea. So I think people do appreciate that effort that someone is putting in. They don't, and especially if the language creators, they don't really expect you to learn it. They tell you, oh, you don't have to learn, you just need to like sit down and relax and just consume this content in the language that we are producing for you. So it's very convenient. You don't have to do anything because you are supposed to be able to understand it passively without prior learning. Yeah.
That's mostly the point. That's the point they're trying to achieve. But I know I speak French and I speak Germanic languages, and I have seen Esperanto, and I can understand some of it, but I don't really automatically fluent. Although it's a language that is supposed to be catered to basically my languages that I know. So I don't know how successful those projects are, but I guess it also depends on the language family. I don't know about how closely related the Slavic languages that were used for this for Interslavic are. So yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's supposed to be understood by all Slavs. So, and I think it's working pretty well. I think, at least from my experience, it sounds really familiar enough that you can hold a conversation with someone who speaks it. I did an interview with the Interslavic creator, and I would ask questions in Polish, and he would be responding to me in Interslavic. Basically, like the whole interaction, all the interactions that I had with that person were through this medium of Polish and Interslavic. So he would just speak Interslavic all the time with me, and we managed to navigate the conversation. So it's amazing how it worked, but it may not be possible to create a similar language within the Germanic language family, because the Germanic languages might be too far apart? I don't know. What's your
Yes,
experience? Maybe because you studied lots of them.
I think there is, or there was. I'm not sure how to phrase that to be 100% accurate, but there is a big divide between North and West Germanic languages. And also, what I've seen about from Volksprague is that it caters more to West Germanic speaker, and it is it can be done because especially the mainland Scandinavian languages, so excluding Icelandic and Faroese, um, the mainland Scandinavian languages had a lot of Low German influence through the Hanseatic League in the Middle Ages. So they have really a really high percentage of loan vocabulary. I'm not sure how big it is, but I guess a Low German speaker can understand if it's written a Scandinavian language quite easily. Um, yeah, but definitely not to Faroese and Icelandic. They are a little bit the odd ones out there. Um, yeah, but I think there is a pretty big divide, and it's also an interesting situation for me because I speak Søreng, North Frisian, which is also often considered like a bridge between the North and the West Germanic languages, with being a West Germanic language, but with really, really heavy Danish, so North Germanic influence. Um, yeah, so it's I think it's a bit difficult to make generalizations about it, and I also can uh, compare it to other languages, but uh, yeah, I think it's a bit difficult to find something that is both cater to North Germanic and West Germanic. If you just make a language that is comprehensible to only West Germanic and only North Germanic, I think that could be accomplished quite easily.
I see. So, and the North Frisian could be a base for that, maybe potentially.
Maybe we have some weird phonology. I've seen in the chat that there was a discussion about the Danish D, about the blue D, which is also present in North Frisian. I think only in my dialect of North Frisian. I speak Søreng, which has not really a lot of speaker. I think I'm not sure if I wrote it under my post under the video, but it has about optimistically it has 80 native speaker and about 400 second language speakers. So we are not a lot, and I would say the language probably wouldn't survive the next maybe 20 to 30 years. And yeah, that's also a reason why I'm very glad that you that you gave me the opportunity to present the language, and I'm happy if more people are interested in it. Yeah.
Yeah, so the video, you guys, you can watch the video on the Ecolinguist channel. It's called North Frisian. Can English and German speakers understand it? So you can check that out. And we did that video in collaboration with Simon Roper as well. So Simon Roper is also in that video, so you can check it out. And actually, I know that you talked more about Frisian, North Frisian, and the whole situation with the language on Simon Roper's channel, right?
Yes.
So people can also go and check that out on
Yeah.
Simon's
The
channel.
basically the long version. I think we talked about 2 hours, a lot about the political and cultural situation of a minority language, and why basically there are a lot of people who are trying to save it, but that the odds that it actually survives are very low. And why this is and how it compares to other regions in the world, because North Frisian isn't unique in that circumstance. We are basically in a situation or in a time of mass extinction concerning languages. Yeah, so I think it's very important to give a voice to those language communities who maybe are also a lot older and not a lot of young people speak it. That's especially the case with North Frisian. So yeah, if someone's interested in North Frisian or in any other language that is maybe endangered, that is maybe in your region or something like that, yeah, look it up and maybe learn it. And yeah.
Yes, that's great. So I think that what we could do potentially, if you're okay with it, maybe we could present North Frisian in this stream also, if you have some ideas for a challenge for German speakers that we've got today. We've got Jan, who is a native German speaker, and Alejandro, who is studying German right now, and his German is quite good, so he might be able to pick something up. So we could do it either through a word challenge, a word description, word guessing challenge, or you could potentially write a sentence and we could like try to decipher a sentence, or we could do both, maybe, I don't know.
I must say that when I'm on the spot and have to talk a lot of North Frisian, it's often difficult for me because I also speak Danish and German a lot, and I often confuse certain words and something, and I sometimes also forget words, and so I think it would be better if we could the sentence one, so we don't have to
Yes.
improvise as much.
Yes, so you could come up with a longer sentence, maybe something longer, like multiple clauses, and we can have a look at it. So while you think about it, I'm just going to switch to a different screen, and I'm going to set things up for the challenge. So just bear with me, and yes, so what I need to do is I need to change things up. And what we're gonna need So, Moritz, whenever you're ready, you can just send the sentence into the chat, the interview chat. So let's just have a quick look at the comments. Yes, people hope that North Frisian survives. Lothario. Yes, this is the thing with endangered languages. You know, we all want them to survive, but it's not an easy task to keep a language alive. And it's a problem. It's a global problem. Many communities are struggling with that, like how to keep their languages alive. Okay, so we've got the sentence. So what we're going to do, we're going to switch now to this side. So hello everybody, welcome back.
Hello.
So we've got Jan and we've got Alejandro. I just want to make sure that everything is good. Yeah, Alejandro, it's a bit dark over there. I mean,
Give me a second. I will open my window.
okay, that's fine. That's fine. So we're going to have that
Is
challenge.
that better or not?
Slightly
I can do the
better,
opposite.
maybe. That's okay. I think as long as we can hear you, it should be fine.
I'm just sorry for my illumination. It's not better.
That's fine. So that's the North Frisian sentence. So what we're going to do is we are going to make this disappear and make this appear. Okay, guys, so this is the sentence in the North Frisian language, right? So what you could do, you could just switch to German, I suppose, to discuss this, and and the task is to translate this sentence into German. So you don't have to be 100% accurate. You just need to get as close as possible. Okay, so Moritz, if you could just read the sentence.
Wann ik te leest op het eiland wär, hoe ik alle meine vrienden met. Can also repeat it. I hope my internet connection is good enough.
Ja, bitte.
It's good.
Wann ik te leest op het eiland wär, hoe ik alle meine vrienden met.
Also ich
Könnte
würde
das
mal,
sein, dass wann wäre wie wenn in Deutsch? Ja.
also ich würde mal vermuten, dass zuletzt zuletzt ist.
Mhm. Ja?
Ja.
Mm,
So könnte man sagen, dass der erste Teil bedeutet, wenn es zuerst ein Löwe wäre oder sowas. Also ich vermute, ein Löwen ist wie Löwe in Deutsch.
Mhm.
Also,
Ja?
also ich würde vermuten, dass Eilön Island ist, also Insel.
Genau. Ja?
Ah, okay. Wenn ich zuletzt auf den Insel wäre oder auf Irland, hätte ich mehr Freiheit.
Ja. Nicht ganz. Also den ersten Teil habt ihr auf jeden Fall schon.
Also ich würde mal bei dem letzten Teil vermuten, ich weiß nicht, dass Merge vielleicht Treffen ist. Ich glaube nämlich, dass es im Skandinavischen, im Norwegischen auch irgendwie Mörte oder sowas gibt, also Treffen. Also ich würde mal vermuten, als ich zuletzt auf der Insel war, habe ich alle meine Freunde getroffen.
Genau, das ist es. Als ich zuletzt da war, genau. Es kann ein bisschen verwirrend sein, wenn man wann da stehen hat, aber es bedeutet so viel wie als. Das macht man
Ach
im
so.
Plattdeutschen auch. Ja.
Mhm.
Okay,
Ja,
so
und ich sah ein Löwen und dachte, dass es Löwe war. Das ist ähnlich.
okay, so what's the English translation of the sentence then?
The last time I was in the, wie sagt man Insel auf Englisch?
The last time I was on the island, I have met all my friends.
Yes.
Good, great. So who got this? I think Jan, you got it first, right?
Yeah.
You got it first. What about you, Alejandro? Like, which parts were you able to identify?
For me, was everything more not complicated, but I talk in other words. For example, Frinier, that I thought it was freedom and not friends, for example. So it was not that easy for me.
Yes, so that's Eilön, which is like island, I suppose, right?
Yes. The Frisian, the North Frisian orthography is quite unique in Germanic languages, because we don't distinguish between long and short vowels by the following consonants, which is in the case in German especially. But we double the vowel, so the Ö is a short in Eilön. So it's basically to least, So when you have the vowel once, it's short, and when it's double, it's twice. It's the same system that is also used in Finnish. I'm not sure if there are other languages that also use this.
Italian, for example, there are the double consonants, which mean that the consonant is speaken a lot longer than a single consonant would be. So, yeah,
Yeah, for example, capo and capo,
yeah,
something like that.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah,
So in Finnish, I mean, in Finnish is known for its very phonetic alphabet, which means that you basically read it as it's written. You say it as it's written, so it's really convenient for people who are learning Finnish, for example.
yes, that was the case also in North Frisian, in Söring North Frisian, but there were some sound changes. So by now it's a bit different. For example, it's not the word in the middle is not vjar or something like that, but ver, because it basically changed back to a monophthong. And another thing that is maybe interesting about the orthography is that the schwa sound, I'm not sure if that's common knowledge, but the schwa sound is the basically
Yeah,
the most unpronounced vowel, is represented through an I, but not an E, like in other Germanic languages. So the word alle is written ALI. Yeah, but also pronounced the
oh,
same as
okay,
in German.
yeah.
And there is a question from Gies van Walloof. I don't know if you see that. Does North
Yes.
Frisian not have a prefix like get for the past participle?
No, it doesn't. That's a feature of all North Sea Germanic languages. The same as in English, and I think also in Low German it's not the case. But I think in Low German you still have the en at the end. So basically, if you want to express the past participle in German, you have a ge in the front and the en at the end, or something else. Sometimes also something different, but it's mostly the case. And I think in Low German you lose the GE and at the beginning, and in North Frisian you basically lost both, and it's the same as in English. That's also a similarity. They are closely related, English and Frisian, through the Anglo-Frisian language family.
Yeah, in some dialects in Germany, you lose at the with the past participle, you lose the e at the beginning, so you have just a g, which makes it a lot difficult to understand. So yeah, there are some varieties in all the different dialects in Germany.
yeah, but normally in German you don't spell the last E in a word. So,
Yeah.
Lothario has a question about the infinitive of to meet.
Um, that's also mut. That's the same spelling. German has a lot of variety in its conjugated verb forms. North Frisian doesn't. You basically have only 4 forms to every verb, but those forms are highly irregular. So that's a problem that Frisian also shares with English. Yeah, but definitely not as complicated that you have to learn. I don't know how many it is, but in German you have to learn very many verb conjugations. It's not that big of an issue in Frisian.
yeah, but normally in German they are pretty comprehensible. They aren't that hard in comparison, for example, to Spanish or Italian.
Yes, so guys, I think that if we still have time, we could do one more sentence in Frisian. But I would like to maybe give a chance to another caller who is trying to call, a German speaker. So Jan and Alejandro, if we could just disconnect and just give a chance for another person before we finish the
Yeah,
show.
no
So
problem.
thank you guys for participating, and it's great. You're welcome to call back into the show in the future episodes. But let's try to add one more person, a new German speaker. So let me do that. So, meanwhile, Moritz, you can think of a sentence, another sentence in Frisian, and I will talk to Tom for a little bit. Okay, Tom, so you are going to be live in a second. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Tom. Tell us, where are you calling from and what languages do you speak?
So first of all, can you see me? I think my face is kind of off.
I can see you. You might need to like try to just center your
Yes,
framing.
I try. I don't.
No
I'm not
worries.
that
So
used
I
to.
can center you a little bit.
Yes. Okay. Good.
Okay, that's fine. You know the.
So
So yes. Where are you calling from and what languages do you speak?
yeah, I think I'm actually quite close to the area Moritz is from. I'm from the north of Germany. The area is called Schleswig-Holstein, and I speak so German as my mother tongue, and yeah, English, French, and a little bit of Norwegian. Yeah, I would say that those are the most, the language I could communicate in.
Communicating. So, do you speak any local dialect in Germany?
I don't, no, I don't speak. I am used to hear Low German, but not often. But yeah, I've heard it before, but I don't speak it myself.
Okay, that's good. So we have a challenge for you. Oh, it's a longer sentence. Is that the? Oh no, maybe it's just duplicated. Sorry. Let me add Moritz now. Yes, Moritz.
Yes. Hello. And yes, I copied the Söring anthem into the text thing. I can also, if you want to make it shorter, I thought I just copy the whole thing, and you can basically see what you can understand of it. Maybe also having the context from the other sentences, or if it's better for the challenge, I can also just cut it down and just use a few sentences of it. Norbert,
Yeah,
I'm
maybe
not sure.
maybe keeping it shorter a little bit because I think
Okay.
it won't fit in here on the display. Yes. So, Tom, how good is your Norwegian?
Maybe B1, B1 plus.
Nice. And have you been to Norway yet?
Yes, I 2 times. I've been with a ferry from Kiel to Oslo, like a day trip, and then have been for 3 weeks this summer.
Okay.
So, but that's it actually. I studied Norwegian in Kiel. So I studied biology and French. I'm now a teacher, so I'm done with it. And so I took the Norwegian classes, for fun.
For fun. And so, did you get any language practice while in Norway? Because some people say that all Norwegians they speak English so well that they tend to like switch to English when they meet a foreigner. What was your experience?
I actually haven't spoken English with a Norwegian. I went full on Norwegian when I met someone and tried to get some practice, and it worked out pretty well, I would say, because I feel, I don't know, maybe Norwegian, maybe they don't meet so many people who learn Norwegian, so they were usually quite happy to meet someone who speaks like a fair amount. So yeah, it was actually quite nice.
Okay, so if you're actually determined to practice, you will find
Yeah.
a way. That's good. So now it's time for the North Frisian challenge. So we're going to display this sentence. Oh, this is it. Oh, actually, maybe I should do this and see if that's gonna work. Yes, so this is the sentence that we're going to try to translate based on your knowledge of German and Norwegian and English, I suppose, also can help a little bit. Yeah, so why don't you start, Moritz, with reading it out loud, and we can try to translate it as much as we can.
I just wanted to add something because I'm also just calling from Kiel. So, and I'm studying basically also Norwegian in the same university, maybe with the same teachers as you did. So that's quite a fun fact.
Small world.
Yeah.
Yes. Great.
Yes. Us høringlen, du best us hellig, du blefst us ein, du best us lek. Din vis to horen sen we wellig, de høringsprog our it we ek.
Okay. So I just start trying to translate into German or into English.
You could try to translate into German first, and then also translate that into English, so we know what you're talking about.
Yes. Okay, so I would say the first part is fairly easy. Unser Söhringer Land, du bist uns heilig. So I just stop there. So our Sölrings land, you are holy to us.
So before you continue, Tom, I think you need to adjust your headset because it started like breaking up a little bit.
Yeah, okay, try. You say if it's better now?
Oh, it's still. Maybe you can disconnect it and connect it again. Maybe that will help.
Okay, I did.
Okay, maybe it's better now. I'm not sure. Or
I will try.
oh, it's still breaking up. So maybe you could just disconnect it, and we're just gonna use the microphone from your computer.
Yes, okay. Hört ihr mich? Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay. So, how would you translate Söring?
It's basically a demonym of endonym. Endonym is the word. An endonym of the Sylt people, culture, language. So everything that is concerning the island of Sylt. Yeah.
Also Sylterland, huh? Unser Sylterland. So the next part is du bleibst uns ein. Du bist uns leg. So I have troubles with ein and leg oder leg. I will continue first. Also you become us. You get us. I don't know. You are something to us, maybe. Din visto. Deine Weise zu something that I don't get. So your kind, your way of doing something. Then wo will ich? I have no idea. So the last sentence, deine Sylter Sprache, I would say ich, also deine Sylter Sprache, ich. So your stirring language, something something I. Okay. Can you give me some hints for the words I
Yes.
don't understand?
Yes, of course. Yes. The first. So those are, you are basically only struggling with the word who have North Germanic cognates. So maybe I'm not sure if maybe your Norwegian can help you with them to decipher what those could be. So the first one was ein, the first word you started with, right?
Yen.
Uh,
Wieder.
I'm not sure. I only speak Danish, so I speak some Norwegian, but I mostly speak Danish. And in Danish, it would be the same word. Ein. If you imagined a G, basically between the I and the N, and then pronounce it very German, you have the word. So
Where was a G? Between?
if you imagine there was a G between the I and the N, and then pronounce it in German, you basically have the word in German.
Eigen. Eigen.
Yeah.
Okay. Own.
Yeah. So it's basically you stay our own, or you stay basically a thing that belongs to us, or to not in a way like excluding anyone else, but mostly a thing we are holding on to. That's meant by that. Yeah. So we basically blessed is a conjugated form of blief, which is also a Danish loan word, but which means to stay or to become. Which is a bit confusing because to stay and to become are opposites, but they have the same word for it. I don't know context. Yeah. What was another word that you had problems with, or that you struggled with?
Lek. But when you say it's from North Germanic, I would say it's a play, a game.
It's closely related to that. It has a slightly different meaning. It is actually a cognate closer to English. So English has a very similar sounding word to lake.
See. Lake.
No. Basically, another again with the G's. If you imagine a G before the L, you have something that is very similar to German.
Gleich.
Yeah, it's more. If you think about you said the Norse word would be game or something. Yeah, I can basically reveal it to you. I'm not sure if I can describe it in any other way, but yeah, we see it in the chat. It's Glück or luck, the English word, a different vowel. That's basically, if you have a word that's similar to English, it's basically just a different vowel. Yes. Yeah, in the next sentence, you did really well. Wies, meaning being or kind to be, weise. I actually never thought about it, that's similar in German, that you can express it similar to German. Hall. Hall is also, because of the vowel, a bit weird. This is, I think, a little bit antiquated that you write the apostrophe, and I think modern North Frisian you don't do that. But you can get that if there is a apostrophe, there was a D before.
Also zu halten,
Yes.
to hold.
Yes, to hold.
Also deine Weise zu halten. Your way of holding, your way to hold.
Yes, or to basically to behalten would be the German word, to let it stay in the way that it is.
So is that the end of the translation? Is that complete?
No, they're still missing 1.5 sentences, but short ones. And I can go through them if we don't have so much time. I can go through them fast if you want to. Or Norbert, can you hear me?
Yes. So Tom, do you have any ideas? Which parts did you get?
So then, wo will ich? I would need hints. I don't get it.
Okay. Sen wir is sind wir. So And wellig is also very close to the German word, but also with a different vowel again. So sind wir.
We are.
Ich denke nur an Welle, also die Welle, aber das
Ah.
wird ja keinen Sinn ergeben.
Yeah. To have it more German, you can replace the E with an I.
Willig.
Willig.
Ach, willig. Ja, willig.
Is
Yep,
it,
so,
is it willing? Maybe willing?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yes. And the last one, you had, I think, you struggled with our eat and with egg, right? Or something like that?
Ja, also ist das ich oder nicht?
Nein.
Dann wahrscheinlich Icke.
Icke?
Oder Ege. Mhm. Also nicht. Not. So the Syrian language, not. Und the is we.
Mhm.
So an aurit, I don't understand.
Mm-hmm. That's really different to German, I think. It's maybe you can think about it, but our meaning over, meaning translated to over, and eat just meaning eating. So eat, just written very differently. So it's basically overeat, but it actually means to forget, vergessen, in German, which also has the word essen in it, but in a very
Okay.
maybe confusing way. So yeah.
Yeah, okay. So we don't forget the Syrian.
So dramatic.
Yes, language.
Yes. Yep. I think really well done. Do you think maybe as your position from also someone from northern Germany that this that your knowledge of basic second-hand knowledge of Low German helped you with this, or how did you basically?
Yes, I would say so. Also, it's a lot of ch sounds that are k, g. So, and which is like here sprach, sprok, ne? Instead of Sprache. So this pattern helps to understand, and it's also that what you said earlier, the prefixes and suffixes that we have in High German are missing, and that I'm used to thanks to Low German. No? So it's already a little bit easier. Yeah.
I think it also helps that you can basically translate it word by word into German. That's a pretty big advantage in North Frisian, that you only have a few exceptions where the syntax isn't word by word exactly like it is in German. So you have the same sentence structure, just with maybe some little bit weird words. And the egg at the end, I think it's quite remarkable that a language borrows such a often used particle from a different language family. So the egg at the end is borrowed from Danish, from Ege. So the negation particle, so to say not. Yeah, so there are quite peculiar things in this sentence. But yeah, well done.
That's great. So actually, there were some people in the chat that identified egg as a negative. Maybe some Danish speakers. And an interesting fact from Andreas that in Swedish, they also use the verb eat in the word to forget.
Vergessen, da ist ja auch Essen drin.
Yeah.
I just realized in the German word to forget is also the word for essen, to eat. But I
Yes.
never realized that.
But in English, it's forget. So get is what? Also maybe get food.
Yes, I'm not quite sure if there may be in old German or something there was a word something like gessen, which means to get or something like that. It just died out, and it's a similarity to that. But yeah, that could be interesting. Maybe Simon can do a video about it.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. Is there any connection there? Yeah, potentially.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's been great, guys. So thank you so much for this. We've learned something about it and about North Frisian, and we managed to have a cool challenge again. So this was the second episode of the stream on the Germanic Languages Hub. So I'm glad that it worked out and so many people came and you guys call in. So thank you so much. We're going to wrap the show up now. So I'm going to switch to a different screen and tell you that I'm going to tell you that the next stream on this channel is going to happen in 3 weeks, but you will still have a chance to participate in challenges in the next 2 weeks when I'm going to be streaming on the Ecolinguist channel, because then it's going to be open to all language families and we're going to just do the show as usual. But the streams that I do on this smaller channels, the Germanic Languages Hub, Romance Languages Hub, and Slavic Languages Hub, are dedicated to one particular language family. And yeah, it worked great. Let me know in the comments what you think about it, and if you want to participate in future episodes, you can register in advance. You can also contact me in advance and ask questions about it, how to join, or how to prepare challenges for the show. I'm happy to help you with that. So thank you very much. And by the way, you can always join our Discord community. As I mentioned, the link is in the description, and we can talk there as well. So have a great evening, everybody, and see you in the next video. Bye.